Hi mom, you know Rahul proposed to me today. Oh, mom, our teacher taught us the reproductive system today. I didn't understand a wee bit. Will you explain it to me? I remained silent because I know all of you were taken aback. Am I right? Do I see the proverbial eyebrows being raised? Because the two topics which I just mentioned, the two things which I just mentioned, they are a big taboo in the Indian society. You're not supposed to discuss them. It's a hush hush topic. Am I right, parents? Don't you want that your children, they should come and talk about everything and anything that happens in their lives? They should be very open with you. They should discuss everything with you. I'm sure you want that. I'm sure you want to have a very friendly and open relationship with your children. So parents, we will have to take steps in order to develop that relationship. It's not easy. So first of all, I would like to say that the moment your child enters into their teenage, which according to them is a golden period, but we all of us know that it's a very difficult period, because a child has the hormonal changes taking place inside the body, and because of the hormonal changes, there are changes in the physical body. There are changes in their emotions, in their thinking process. So they are undergoing a lot of changes. Transformation is taking place, and outside also they are facing many challenges regarding their peer pressure, then pressure of studies, and in their +1 they have to choose which stream they have to take up and which career they have to pursue. They have the relationship problems, attraction towards the others, and pressure of the parents also. So it is a very difficult period, a period of transformation, but for children it is a golden period. They look forward to their teenage. So we need, the moment our child, boy or girl, enters into the teenage, becomes 13 years old, we need to change our roles. That is, we need to step out from the shoes of being parents into the shoes of being their friends. Now we don't have to make a public announcement that today you've turned 13, so today I'm going to be your friend. We have to do it in a very subtle manner, in our behavior with them, in our dealing with them. We have to show them that we are their friends. We are not going to give them instructions any longer. So we can begin with, like, if you yourself have been thinking of following a strict diet plan, or following a particular exercise regime, you want to do exercise on daily basis, you want to pursue maybe yoga, or you want to do gymming or swimming, but you have not been able to do it. So you can do it in teamwork with your teenage children. You can go and talk to them that I'm finding it very difficult to follow a proper diet plan and to do some exercise. I need to feel healthy. I need to maintain my body. So could you help me out? Should we start on this journey together? Let us go for a walk. As you say, you decide. We can go for a walk in the morning, or we can spend half an hour doing yoga together, or maybe let us go for swimming. It's an excellent exercise. You know swimming, why don't you teach me also? Or we can go to the gym together, and that by doing that I will lead a healthy life. I want to eat proper diet, healthy diet. At times I do binging, so whenever I do that, you correct me, and if you do that, I'll correct you. Let's be on this together. Please help me out. I'm sure your child will be ready to help you out, and in that way your child will also get into a proper routine, will become regular and organized in life, will start doing exercise along with you. You'll follow a proper diet chart, and both of you are going to benefit. At the same time, when you're going for swimming together or gymming, whatever you're doing together, you will be spending quality time with your child, which is very, very important. In that time that you spend, you can talk about different subjects. Mind you, at that time, don't talk about discipline. Don't tell them, concentrate on your maths, do your physics regularly, how much marks did you get in this, etc. And don't try to discipline them. Just talk about different things. You can just talk about anything, the political scenario, the social issues, anything. How's the school going on? What about your friends? What is latest going on, etc. You can talk about fashion, everything with your child, because they are interested in these topics. So you will be building a very special relationship with your child, because you are going to come down to their level, spend quality time with them, and discuss about those things in which they are interested, without talking about their studies and without talking about discipline. You will bring them into their comfort zone. They will be at comfort with you to talk to you. You can because at this time children are very critical about themselves. They find faults with their physical appearance. You will see them standing hours in front of the the mirror and admiring themselves, finding fault with their hair, trying to adjust their dress. At that time you don't be critical, you give them a compliment. If it's your son, you say, my God, you're looking so handsome, that hairstyle is really suiting you. And for your daughter, your dress is really looking good. But if there's any correction to be made, if you feel that the dress is not suiting your child, do it in a very subtle manner. Like a friend, you tell them that I don't think so, this is suiting you, change this. I think change the color of your trousers. Instead of the grey, you wear the black. Black will look better, and you're looking so handsome, you're looking so pretty. Learn to give compliments to your children. Because they are critical about their appearance, you need to boost their self-confidence and their self-esteem. Because one thing is for sure, if you are dressed up well, you feel confident about yourself and you're confident to face the world. You are able to face them positively. So help your child to feel that confidence in themselves, that they are looking good, that they are very smart and beautiful. Give compliments, praise them. Praise is really going to help out your child. You're spending quality time with them. So slowly, the ambience of your house will become positive. So when a child comes back home, the child feels that he is entering a comfort zone where people are there, the family parents are there, who are there to support him or her, who are there as a support system, and they will help them out. So when you build this positive aura in the house, when you discuss things with your child openly, the child will be at a comfort level with you and will maybe discuss many personal issues with you. You can start confiding in them. Firstly, if you want your child to confide in you, you need to confide yourself. Share some weaknesses of yours, or share any mistake that you've committed. For example, I'll take my own example. Like, I have not been very good in mathematics. So I can tell my child that I didn't like mathematics so much, and I was so happy the day I gave my class 10 board exams that in +1 I will not have to do mathematics. Now this will serve two purposes. First of all, it will make your child aware that you are not perfect, because for children, their parents are perfect. They know everything. They are good at everything. They don't make any mistakes. We have to make the child realize that the parents are also human beings. They also have their weaknesses. They also commit mistakes. So when I tell my child I was weak in mathematics, they will know, yes, my mother or my father also has a weakness. They will stop criticizing themselves, because teenagers have a habit of being overcritical about themselves. I cannot dance, I cannot sing, I don't look nice, I am not tall, I am very fat, I am not good at maths, I am not good at chemistry, etc., etc. So they will learn an important lesson, that nobody is perfect in this world. Everybody has a weakness, everybody has a drawback. It will boost their morale, and they will realize, okay, fine, everyone is like this, so no problem. If I also have a weakness, it's all right. They will accept themselves. It is very important for the teenagers to accept themselves as they are, with their strengths and weaknesses. Another thing is, we should never compare our children. That is the worst thing we can do to bring down the self-esteem of a child. Never ever compare your child with their sibling or with another classmate of theirs in school, or with your neighborhood child, saying that that child is topping the class, that child is so good at dances, he has won the first prize in a cricket tournament, etc., etc. The list is ongoing. Don't ever do that, because we are parents, we want to boost their morale, we want to boost their self-confidence, not to bring it down. So by doing comparison, we are bringing down their self-confidence. We have to tell them that you are a unique creation of God. You have your own qualities. You have your own strengths and weaknesses. Let us work on those strengths. We can try to get rid of those weaknesses slowly, but you have your own skills. You have your own qualities. Work on those. So never ever compare your child with anyone. Try and praise your child at the little small things. You can praise your child. For example, if your child makes a cup of tea for you, and you can just have a sip of that tea and say, wow, it is so relishing, it's really tasty, and I feel so refreshed. Thank you so much, beta, it's superb. So with these little praises, they will really feel good. It will boost their morale. Their self-confidence will go up. So when you give this positive environment to your child, the child will be at comfort level, will start discussing things with you. For example, just involve your child in the decision making process. For example, if you are going to buy a car, all the family members sit together, and at that time you can decide, you can just broach the topic that which car should we buy. The child might say, Papa or Mama, you decide, you are the ones who know which car to buy. You say, no, but we are buying the car for the whole family. So the decision is to be made by everybody, including y'all, because it's not going to be used only by us, it is for y'all. So you tell your budget, this is our budget, we have to buy the car within this budget. So you suggest, you can ask about the technical details also, which car will be better, which car has a better engine, etc. So when you take your children into confidence and you take their opinion while making important decisions for the family, it will really make them feel important. They will feel, yes, my opinion also matters. I am somebody in this family. I am important for my family members. They will learn to make their opinions verbal. Otherwise, many all have opinions, but they keep it hushed inside because they feel maybe my opinion is not required, maybe I am wrong. But you have to make them understand that their opinions are important. Now in teenage, another thing is there, children become aware of many things at a very early age because of the exposure to the social media. They know a lot about the physical relationships. So parents, much before the time, before they become very curious at a very tender age, that is when they are not tender age, I mean about when they are in 6th or 7th, they become aware of these things and they try to satisfy their curiosity by taking help of the other people, their friends, or from social media. So I suggest that you can sit and have a simple talk with your child. Tell them the facts of life, that these are the basic facts, without intimidating them or without embarrassing them. Just give them the facts about life. What are the physical relationships? You need to make them aware about everything so that they don't look here and there for their answers. Make it a very open topic. We need to discuss it. It is not something to be hushed and not to be spoken about. We need to talk to our children about these. We need to guide them in certain ways. So build this comfort level, and slowly parents, when the child feels good, when the child feels that yes, my parents are discussing their weaknesses and problems with me, I can also discuss with them. You don't have to force, you don't have to coax them to tell your secrets. They will come around themselves. It will come out naturally. You have to just give that happy, positive, cheerful and a friendly atmosphere. They will come out with their secrets, they will confide in you. Just give them that atmosphere. Another important thing which I want to discuss is about the choice of the subjects of your children in +1 and +2. Many of my students have always come and complained to me that I did not want to take up non-medical. I was interested in taking arts, but I was forced by my parents because they think that in arts there are a lot of options. Parents, I agree, whatever you think, you have good plans for your child. You always think positive about your child. You want your child to reach the zenith of success in their life. But let me tell you one thing, parents, that many of us, at times, many of us had our dreams. We wanted to become doctors or engineers or advocates, or we wanted to do MBA or go into the IT. But maybe because of certain circumstances, we were not able to achieve our dreams. So what mistake do? We project our own dreams onto our children. Because I could not do IT, I could not do MBA, you are supposed to do, because it is very good. You will get a very good high paying job and you will be very happy in life. Parents, let us not make this mistake. Let us not make this mistake. Let us not project our dreams onto our children, because our children have their own ambitions. They have their own positives. They have their own negatives and positives, their strengths and weaknesses. Maybe they want to pursue some other career. We should give them the opportunity to choose the career of their choice. Even if you feel then also your child is a little confused about the career options, you can take your child to a career counselor. Now the career counselor, they conduct a series of tests regarding their verbal ability, the numeric ability, the emotional intelligence, etc. And according to the results of those tests, they tell you that what your child is good at, what is the natural aptitude of your child, and which profession will be good for your child. Let them choose the subject they want to do. Let them make a choice of the career according to their own strengths and abilities. Let us not force our children to follow a particular career because we want them to do. Our intentions are good. We want them to be successful in life. But if they are not happy in their lives, will that success matter? Will that monetary success matter if the happiness is not there? I hope you agree with me. Last, I want to say a few words for the parents who think that they are just providers for their children. Parents, it is our duty and responsibility to provide and fulfill the needs of our children, because our children have seen us in that role, and at times they do take us for granted, but that is the way they have seen us. But don't ever feel that they don't love you. Tell me, when was the last time you told your child, I love you? I'm sure you don't even remember. Parents, when we want our children to come and tell you that they love us, they care for us, don't you think it is our moral responsibility also to tell them that we love you, we care for you, and we are always there for you? Now you might say, our intentions are good. What are we working hard for? Day and night we are working, we are earning money. For whom? Our children. Those are our intentions, parents. But intentions are clear only to God Almighty. But if for human beings, if we want a human being to know what we feel, what we think, we have to show it in our actions. We have to show it in our words. So from time to time, tell your child, I love you, beta. I'm always there for you. I'm always there to support you. I will not let you break down. Always be the support system of your child from the outside. Don't be the crutches. Let the child make his mistakes, fall down and learn a lesson. But be there to support your child. Be always there as a support system. Don't let your child break down. And remember, you need to pat your child, you need to hug your child from time to time. Now in this also, children are different. Some are introverts, some are extroverts. Some like a lot of love being expressed to them. So according to your child, you analyze your child's nature, and according to your child, you give him that emotional support that is required. Remember, children are from us, they are not for us. We have to provide for them, but our love has to be unconditional. I hope I've struck a chord. I hope I've touched the hearts of at least a few parents, and after seeing this video, some of you will have at least developed a good relationship with your children. Thank you.